Zimbabwe is currently generating less than half of its power demand due to low water levels, which impact generation from its 1,050 megawatts hydropower plant at Kariba. Demand for electricity is forecasted to grow to 5,000 megawatts by 2030, and authorities are looking at developing new and additional generation capacity by both the public and private sectors, and is very critical and important. One of the major projects is the proposed development of floating photovoltaic power plant on Lake Kariba. Information Minister updated journalists on the project during a post-cabinet media briefing in the capital earlier today.
This complementary and contributory renewable energy project into the power generation systems is aligned to the National Renewable Energy Policy. Cabinet wishes to advise that a grid impact assessment led to the approval of a 600 megawatts floating power plant on Lake Kariba based on the consideration for grid stability and the risk of concentration of generation at one power station in terms of location. The development of the plant will be phased to complement the Kariba South hydro power station. The first phase of 150 megawatts capacity is envisioned to be commissioned in 2025. Phase 2 of the 300 megawatts capacity and phase 3 of the 150 megawatts capacity will be implemented in 2026 and 2027 respectively.
Bulawayo City is the spotlight ahead of the SADC Industrialization Week set for July. This is a public-private engagement platform aimed at fostering new opportunities for intra-African trade and investment in the Southern African region. The event is hosted as a precursor to the SADC Heads of State and Government Summit, and its outputs are reported to the annual SADC Ministers' meetings. So what impact will this have on the City of Kings, and what is on the ground now? And Lechuma gives us more.
Some of the once idle factories are roaring to life. Some churches that had temporarily moved in are being served with notices. This was once the industrial hub of Zimbabwe, and the sound of machinery and economic activity to investors and job seekers is a big relief. The Ministry of Industry and Trade taught some Bulawayo firms that have recently poured investments in their businesses in the second largest city. National Foods recently poured in $6.5 million United States dollars and created a ready market for the country's wheat and grain farmers.
And now we've got a Bula machine from Switzerland, imported brand new parts, all components are imported. It's an investment that is worth 6.5 million.
Zimbabwe senior national team is now in South Africa after flying from Harare earlier today. The Warriors are in Port Elizabeth ahead of the start of the 2024 COSAFA Cup, which is on Thursday. Interim coach Jairus Tapera has traveled with a developmental side made up of mostly under-23 players, as is the case with most nations taking part in this year's tournament.
Yeah, sure. Disappointing result that we had in the World Cup qualifiers, but we have regrouped with purely a new squad comprising of 3 quarters of under 23, and yesterday we met and discussed about all this disappointment to the players, making them aware that what we are here for is to get as many wins as possible. We are expecting a lot of positive results from these boys. They are looking sharp. They are looking at doing better for the country, and we have so much expecting them to deliver and make us proud again. Coming this side, really, we need to qualify to the semi-final. That's one target that we have at all costs. And like you are saying, it's a challenging group. It's also a challenging group to the rest of the teams that are there. They know Zimbabwe is a powerhouse in terms of the performance in the COSAFA, and we are no pushovers at all. We can't expect anything besides to qualify to the next round and probably do right and do positive, do the nation proud, do the nation smile once again.
Konapo, ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.